everybody. I'm Isaac Potoczny-Jones. In a second, you'll see my contact information. I'm here to talk about computers. I'm a computer programmer. I can't see any of you. I mostly program in Haskell, which is a functional programming language. Thank you. I work for a small company called Gawa. I like riding bikes. I like racing cyclocross. That's my contact information. If you want to drop me a line, follow me on Twitter. Yeah, cyclocross. Okay. You can follow me on Twitter. So I'm going to talk about computers. And if you can't understand something I'm saying, look for the bottom of the screen. There might be a translation there for you. So in particular, I'm going to talk about this smartphone. This is the Android G1 smartphone. Basically, it's a computer for your pocket. It has got the web, it's got chat, it's got everything. And the great thing about this is that it runs Linux. Because the Android operating system is Linux. And Linux is open source. That means finally robotic beings rule the world. Right? Because Linux is open source, that means everyone can collaborate on it if you're a programmer. Open source is a radical way for computer programmers all over the world to collaborate. You guys might have heard of OpenOffice or Firefox. These are all open source software programs. So I'll give you a little bit of background. Apple is doing great stuff with their iTunes and their iPhone. Now, come on, they're really changing the way the music industry and the software industry, or the cell phone industry, think about software. But Apple's also very controlling, right? Apple wants to control who can use their phones, how they can use their phones, how you can share software across phones. So they've taken some steps in the right direction, but they're still controlling. Now, some people really like the fuzzy golden handcuffs of Apple. That's okay. If you're into that, that's cool. But Google is working to create some more openness, and this Android phone is a radically open platform. They also fought to have the FCC open up part of the wireless spectrum to open mobile devices. So a lot of exciting stuff going on here. And openness is just good for the software industry. That's why Google's doing this, I think. What's next? Oh, so you might think I'm talking about a smartphone, but I'm really talking about a very nerdy version of freedom. I'm free to write software. I'm free to share that software with other people. They can share their software with me, and Apple's not going to stop me from distributing it to my friends. And that's really great. Do you guys get that joke? So I'm going to talk nerdy, okay? If you don't know what I'm saying, translation's toward the bottom. Android is a separation infrastructure, architecture. The operating system is. All the applications are digitally signed. They each run as their own user. That means that applications cannot interfere with each other, which is a really good thing for security. Aww. But that means they would need a really well-defined way to interact. This well-defined way is an inter-process communication called intents. Basically, functions and features of one application can use functions and features of another application. So what you really get is this kind of smartphone application mashup infrastructure, which is really cool. And there's this project OpenIntents. They're working to create kind of a hub for these things. So openintents.org, they're open source focused project. Really cool stuff. So if you're a developer, here's how you do it. Eclipse, Java, familiar sites. That is an emulator. You do not need a phone to program the Android phone. The emulator is free. You can download all this stuff. You can use SQLite to store your data. You can use XML to design your user interface. This is a program that I wrote. Let's say you wanted to write some notes for work, but you wanted those notes to be encrypted, because if somebody got your phone, then they might steal your information, right? So I wrote a piece of software to encrypt your notes, and it can store encrypted data. But I could not have done this without collaboration. So folks here in Portland, what? There's no joke on that slide. Folks here in Portland wrote the encryption system. Folks in Germany wrote the Notepad application. I wrote a way for them to talk to each other to create an encrypted Notepad application. That's the essence of open source. But open source software is not incompatible with companies, and they're not incompatible with ventures. I'm interested in ventures. I'm interested in open source. Mostly I'm doing open source right now. But let's see. So this is this guy, Mohammed Yunus. You guys ever heard of him? He invented microfinance. He won the Nobel Peace Prize. And he has this point of view that says sometimes a company or a for-profit is the right way to bring about social change. So right now I'm performing a social experiment. Any minute now, Google is going to start allowing paid apps on their store. There's another program I wrote called Meditation Words. If you guys got a phone, you can go download it for free right now. And I'm going to sell this application as soon as Google lets me, which should be, are they selling it yet? And then I'm going to donate the proceeds to Kiva, which is a microloan system. So, thank you. So, if you are not a nerd, that means you didn't get the jokes, then we still need translators, we still need documenters, we still need testers. You can get involved. Check out OpenIntents. If you are a nerd, lucky you. You can download the SDK, Software Development Kit. You can start on the Hello World program and get hacking. It's all free. That's what's going on all over the world. Locally here in Portland, there's some really cool projects. Don Park is in the audience. Ice Condor. Open source continuous location tracking system. Lucky Lab, check us out every second Monday at 6 p.m. Southeast. So that's my talk. I'm Isaac. You can drop me a line. I do like giving talks. I'll be down here at the break and stuff like that. And you guys rock. Thanks, Portland.